This is what anxiety looks like in my brain. Every tab is either a worry, a what if, or something that I should be doing. And here's the hard truth. As a Christian, sometimes you can't just pray more. Not when your brain is too loud to hear God. Today, I'm sharing the one tool that quiets the noise when prayer feels impossible. And it's probably not what you think. In fact, I spoke with somebody very close to me the other day, which reinforced the need to share how we can actually turn the anxiety volume down. She described her anxiety to me, that overwhelming sense of her brain going above the speed limit with no sense of direction, just in accelerate mode. I refrained myself from offering the typical spiritual answer. Just pray. Because I know that when I experience anxiety, my prayers are all over the place. My thoughts are going so fast, I can't even rail them in succinctly to have a focused prayer. And if I do manage a sentence, oh God, what was I just praying? I wanted to give her a quick answer. I didn't have a quick answer. I know God can heal with a one-word prayer, but sometimes for reasons I don't understand, He chooses to heal us through a process. And I'm so grateful for the tools that He gives us for our healing journey. Now, here's that one tool that I found very effective at calming my anxiety. 25 years ago, during my first bout of clinical depression, I bought a digital camera. Now, stay with me. You might be thinking, Donna, I thought this was about faith and mental health, not photography. Nope, this isn't about photography. You can read all about it in the Bible, especially in the Psalm. David and other psalmists, they wrote about their experiences when dealing with their own anxiety. David wrote, "When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them?" David was looking, noticing, and observing what God created. And he calmed his troubled soul through the looking, noticing, and observing of God's creation. The camera is the tool. It helps us to do what we read about in the Bible. It's about what Jesus told people who were worried or anxious before cameras even existed. When Jesus addressed those who were anxious, he'd say things like, "Consider the lilies. Look at the birds." He was giving them something specific to focus on, something in creation that would remind them of God's care for them. Studies show that during that activity of focusing, the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of the brain, is sending messages to your brain's alarm system, your amygdala, to turn that anxiety volume down. They didn't have the report of the studies conducted by modern day neuroscientists, but they understood something profound. Stillness isn't the absence of movement. It's the presence of focus. This is why my time with my camera brought me closer to God. When I'm outside in the midst of His creation and I'm photographing the sky, the moon, I'm just amazed at His glory, and I'm drawn closer to Him through that. You can experience this too. Start by just setting a timer for 5 minutes, just 5, that's all. And then go somewhere you can see something God made. Outside is ideal, but even a window works. Find one thing that catches your eye, not 10 things, one. A leaf, a flower, anything. Look at it. Really look. Notice 3 things about it you didn't see at first: the texture, the color variation, the way it moves. That's it. You're not trying to take the perfect picture. You're not even trying to feel better immediately. You're just noticing. You're practicing the presence of focus. Here's something a little bit, I don't know if the word is embarrassing. No, it's not embarrassing. It's just the truth. In spite of photography allowing me to grow closer to God, when I used it back in my 40s, when I was dealing with depression back then, why haven't I been doing the same today? Well, I turned that hobby into a whole business. So now when I pick up my camera, I have the concern of having proper composition, proper lighting. All of that is good, but with a different purpose, there's different perspectives and the added stress and anxiety of getting it right. So here's what I'm committed to doing differently. When I pick up my camera, actually, I'm not even going to pick up my camera. Nope. I'm going to use my camera on my phone. This is the iPhone 16e. Not like the Pro where it has all the bells and whistles of the different lenses and all of that. I didn't need all of that. And I still don't need all of that for the purpose of seeing, noticing, and observing. And that's all you need. And what's ironic is that as I make the decision not to be perfect and not to have it technically right, I'm also learning that it's okay that I don't do all the Christianese things that we're supposed to do. You know, serving in ministry, daily devotionals, Bible study, all the things. What I've learned through all of this is that God still loves me. He's not giving me extra points for doing those things, and He's not taking points away for not doing those things. He still reminds me in those tiny moments of focus that His grace is sufficient. But what shifted that I'm really focused in on right now is understanding God's timing. This is what God has been teaching me. When I'm overwhelmed with anxiety and my thoughts are just spiraling out of control, anxiety is saying to me, you got to figure it out right now. When you're spiraling, when your anxiety is overwhelming you, let's stop to focus. I've experienced that when I stop and I focus on one leaf, one flower, one dirt ball on the floor, maybe not the dirt ball, one beam of light, I remember that God's handling the whole universe one moment at a time. The sun rises gradually. Flowers open slowly, and seasons change the same time every year, never out of order. God is not in a hurry, and just maybe we don't need to be either. As a matter of fact, we don't. We don't need to be in a hurry. Every time we pause to see something that God has made, we're reminded He's still working, still creating beauty, still holding everything together, including me, including you, especially in our anxious moments. So I might not be able to pray the way I think that I should be able to pray, the way that I want to pray. But I can look at the light shining through my kitchen window. I can focus on a single leaf for 30 seconds. I can see and notice the pattern and the texture of the tree bark. And somehow in those moments, I'm meeting with God. And what I'm discovering He's meeting me right where I am in my inability to do Christianity right. Anxiety tells you that you have to see the whole picture right now, but God only asks you to see the next step. One focus moment, one notice detail, one breath. That's enough. It's always been enough. I got to wrap this video up. I have a family to photograph, so I'm going to get there early so I can do a little bit of noticing and observing. Let's keep picturing our hearts as God sees us, worthy of love, capable of healing, and never alone in the dark.